to Just Between Us, a show where we cosplay as different animal statues.
Not as the animals, as the statues.
Yeah, it's very boring. All right, so this week I just wanted to acknowledge that it's on March 23rd. Will be 6 months since my mom died.
Insane.
Which is bananas.
Insane. The worst. The actual worst.
How long did you think it had been? Because when I said 6 months, you were shocked.
Shorter, I guess.
Yeah.
But also it feels like a fever dream that like didn't happen. But also then it's like it feels like it was a long time. But then it feels like it was a short time. But then it feels like sometimes, I mean, I'm sure this is relatable to you, and I text you about it a lot, where sometimes I'll be like jolted and I'll be like, that was crazy. I'm sure it happens to you, but that happens to me, where I'll be like just like driving and then I'll be like, what?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like being further away from it because,
right,
like, it just feels like less connected, and that it's like this mix of like day to day, I'm doing better.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I increased my medication quite
Who
a bit.
among us?
So that's probably part of it. But then I feel like disconnected from it, and I don't like that. And I don't like that my life is like continuing on without her.
That's why you feel disconnected?
Maybe, yeah.
That's why you don't like feeling disconnected?
Yeah, like I don't. It's just like bananas. Like I do keep going without her.
Yeah.
But then also like there's like an objection to
no.
in my brain.
Well, you know, they say that grief isn't like right away. You know, they say, I mean, there is, but they say that keeps going on because everyone is so nice to you and checking in on you and so attentive about this thing that happened right as it happens or right after. But nobody, you know, a year later, people got their own stuff or whatever. Like they're not like thinking about her as much as you are.
Yeah.
So that's why I try to tell you that I am thinking about her, because I do often. And I don't want it to feel like, you know, I think this is normal in the sense that you're like, oh, so everyone's just moving on. It's just gonna be a thing that happened 5 years ago. It's just gonna be a thing that happened 10 years ago. That seems nuts.
Right. Like I don't like that I'll have had more of my life without her at some point. Hopefully if I make it to 70.
A long time. I mean, that's a long time. But something like that, I think it will still feel fresh for a long time. Maybe even the whole time.
Well, yeah, but it already doesn't feel fresh, and like I'm already like kind of like weirdly disconnected from the time when she was sick and dying, and like I just like it's all so weird, and also like I just feel like less safe in the world. Like I just feel like my protector is sort of gone.
Yeah.
Obviously, like John has like really stepped into that role, and my mom even I think said something to him of like, she's your problem now. Like good luck, and like she like passed the baton on to him.
Which he's up for.
Yes, he is. I feel very lucky about that. But it's like, you know, the world is so scary right now, and like it's just like I just feel like less safe, and also like more just like, well, who knows what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like the magical bubble I was living in, where it was like, yeah, bad things happen to me, but not like really bad things.
Yeah.
Like that's like no.
Yeah.
So something that's shifted though is that now I feel like I can handle like anything emotionally, but that now my fears are around like physical comfort.
In what sense?
Like I just really hope that I'm not like not in like in a home. Like I just really hope that I'm not like on the street at some point, or that like the war happens and so then I don't have hot water, or that like I'm in like intense physical pain all the time, or like now like my fears are like very like physical based.
Interesting.
Which is like kind of bizarre.
Those are I think maybe that's a natural consequence.
Well, I also think that like part of what got me through my mom being sick was that like I was physically
able to help.
And like physically okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so now it's like I just like get very worried about like being uncomfortable at some point and like losing the resources to be physically comfortable.
Okay. Yeah, I get that.
Isn't that weird though?
No, I mean that's what I was kind of saying before, is that as you get older, I wonder if it becomes more, oh my God, things could fall apart. You know what I mean? Like when I don't know.
But also it's like less of a fear around it because it's like, yeah, they do.
They do, exactly. That's how I feel. When we went to get my nerve test and I'm like dealing with all these health things, I'm like, whatever it is, I feel weirdly calm about it. Because I'm like, there's nothing I can do. Like, I'm like, okay.
I think the big thing for me is like trying to be okay with me dying.
That's crazy that you're not okay with that. It's not crazy. It's just we're different.
Most people are afraid to die.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, I know. I would argue that's more unusual.
I guess. Well, because to me it's like, well, that's it. I'm like, it's just kind of, it just, there's not really anything I can do. I'm more worried about like, what if it's right before I'm dying? Like,
I'm very afraid.
What about like drowning
I'm
or
very
something?
afraid of knowing that I'm going to die. And I think that my mom knowing that she was going to die is like one of the most upsetting aspects of it to me.
Yeah.
And that like, but she also handled it with like so much grace and composure.
Yeah.
And like lack of the panic that I feel like I would have felt.
Yeah.
And so then sometimes I'm like, well, maybe if I were in a similar situation, I would respond differently than I assume that I would respond. But I don't know. It was unbelievable the way she just like accepted it and just like and didn't get mad and didn't get hysterical and not and like,
she was worried about you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I often think about what it would have been like if she had something that it was like cancer or something like that you could fight.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's
that
the other thing that's
right.
bananas is like, what else do you go from like pretty, like no one would know anything is going on to dead like 6 weeks later?
Right. It was like, there was like, and there's absolutely nothing you can do.
And there's no treatment.
Yeah.
And she's going to lose complete control of her body and her ability to speak.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, nobody could have predicted that.
So I couldn't even have the conversations I wanted to have with her.
Right.
Or get the information from her that I want to have, or ask all the things, or record her, or do any of the stuff. So it's like, we know she's dying, but also you don't get to have any of the advantages of knowing someone is dying.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was like, maybe if someone like mysteriously goes missing and you never have any closure, that could be on par. But other than that...
Oh yeah, someone missing seems terrible.
Yeah, you never know what happened.
I think I would have to be like, they're dead.
Well, and I'm the opposite. I feel like I would be like, they're probably just in Peru.
But then if they're in Peru, it's like, well, I have to spend all my time and effort to find them in Peru.
Yeah.
How dare I not be searching for them?
Right.
I mean, I'd search a little.
It's so wild. It's just like one of those things that you're like, well, that's not how it's going to go for me. Like, that's not the end for me. And then it's like, no, that is what happened to your mom. She had 6 weeks.
It's also weird that I'm not afraid of anyone else I love dying.
Okay, thanks.
No, I know. I'm only afraid of myself dying. And so now I feel like I've become this like weird, selfish person. Where I'm like, oh, my dad's going to die? That'd be wild. Like, I'm not like afraid of it, but then I like then I'm like afraid of myself dying. So it's like, what's happened? I've just lost my empathy or connection to people?
No. I think that sometimes it's easier to worry about yourself than after going through that than it is to start extending that to other people. Because then like you have to just be like, well, that's what happens. About that kind of thing, because now you've kind of felt like, well, I have no control. But you have some control over yourself, and that's what's stressful.
Or I'm just so afraid of knowing I'm going to die.
Yeah.
Like, I think that, like, I've known that I can tolerate losing. Like, it's so fucked up. But, like, I know what the feeling is to lose the most important person to me.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the feeling is to be dying. And so that still feels, like, so scary for me. And then I'm, like, completely disconnected from, like, being attached to other people in a way.
It's so funny. I'm opposite. I don't care what happens to me, but I care about what happens to other people.
Then I'm like, I'm a piece of shit.
No, but I'm a piece of shit because obviously other people would care if something happened to me.
Yeah, but who sounds worse? That I'm like, I don't care if anyone dies other than me.
No,
or
your self-preservation. I can say this from where I'm sitting because whatever. But you have self-preservation. So you're preserving yourself.
But I do wonder, like, if at some point, like, I will worry about other people dying.
Yeah, probably.
But, like, that's, like, dead in me right now.
Well, that'd be really hard to use that part of you. I think it's extended.
No, but I think a lot of people, when they have a major loss like this, they'll then get really worried that everyone they love is going to die. I'm having the opposite reaction. Yeah. Where I'm just sort of like...
Well, because I think you can't even begin to be like, this could happen again. I think it's just like, whatever. You have to feel whatever about it. Like when you have a day where a bunch of bad things happen in a row, and then by the time it's the fourth bad thing, you're like, lay it on me.
Yeah.
You know, maybe. It's like that.
But it does create a level of disconnect in my life that I like am a little worried about.
It'll come back, I think, if you even want it back.
Well, I'd like to care about my loved ones.
Sure. I felt bad that you came to that nerve test with me because I realized it was like, oh, more medical shit for Allison.
No, I like to do it.
Oh, well, that's creepy.
Like, the thing that it showed me the most was like, oh my God, you have to, this is like going to sound contradictory to what I just said, like, oh my God, you have to have people in your life. Like, you have to have people there to care for you and be there for you and, like, help you through these awful things. And so if you don't, like, that makes life unmanageable. Like, if my mom had just, like, died by herself somewhere. Right. But, like, to be surrounded by love, to be surrounded by community. So then, like, you have to go do this horrible thing. Well, I can't prevent you from having to do the horrible thing, but at least I can be there with you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's all it is. And I think I was really convinced that only someone I was dating or married to could be the only person that would care enough to do that. And then it's like finding out that that's not really true. You know, the way that everyone showed up for your mom at her photography thing. I mean, that's huge. Because she was there for so many other people. So you're kind of doing what she was doing.
Well, I'm trying.
Well, yeah. Well, you're doing it. I saw it happen. I was there. It's like the worst game of D&D in the world.
But, or if you're in a world where animal statues can move.
You're right.
Like Toy Story.
Yep, like Toy Story. Toy Story fucked me up because I was like, well, everything's alive. Oh. And I have to be nice to it. Yeah. Like Brave Little Toaster. I was like, well, great. Now all my stuff's alive. Now I have to care about that.